This is going to have to be an episode I don't forget to edit all this out.
Yeah.
So, come here often, Travis?
Oh, we started already?
No. I mean, yes and no.
Sort of.
Like, it's recording, but no, we've not technically started yet.
Well, everything's on the record then.
We usually don't start until I say, we're live.
Finally, the law has come back to the Iron Palace Podcast!
Welcome to the Iron Palace Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Iron Palace Podcast, the world's most anabolic podcast that is here to make arms grow again. Show them, Travis.
Shee!
There it is, in all its glory.
Put a flex on.
Yeah. Yeah, we're better than you, and we know it.
There it is. Our cameraman was a little delayed, so.
Like a couple pregnant cobras.
So, any who's or what's her? We're not going to do an introduction this time because you're a three-peat, dog.
Hey, it's an accomplishment.
You don't need no
Glad to be
introduction. Everybody already knows you more than they know us at this point.
back. Well, it's always an honor to be here.
Always got that gold on him. All right, Dave, you got the icebreaker today. What you got?
In a no-holds-barred match, who's the king cryptid? Like, can whoop every other cryptid.
First off, lay the scene. Like, well, are we talking like Hell in a Cell match? Are we talking street fight? What are we
Wide
talking?
open field with a running start.
With a running
30
start?
paces apart.
Got to be a Wego.
A
Chip and
what?
Faber can close some distance. I would say Loch Ness Monster, but I said field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, at least that one's out. I know that one.
Yeah.
What did you say, Travis?
Wegos.
What is that?
It's almost a demonic Sasquatch.
Ah,
I didn't know that one.
There's multiple Sasquatch.
I'm going to change my answer.
I feel like I can't argue with that one.
This is a scarier version of a Sasquatch.
I didn't know demonic Sasquatch was on the board.
Corbin knows what I'm talking
What's
about.
the one that could read minds? There's one that's known to read minds, too.
That's a Wego.
Yeah.
Well, then it sounds like that's like the broken Superman of cryptids. So
Well, supposedly there's clans of them in Kentucky, but
that's it. I'm not. One more reason why I don't want to go to Kentucky.
So they're supposed. What's the one in like the Congo that they think the Kele and Bimbe or
I swear you're making this
Speaking
up.
in tongues?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
no, it's like it's kind of like an African Loch Ness monster.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I also don't know.
The sightings look like a brontosaurus. They look like similar to a brontosaurus.
Yeah, I know it's not Dikembe Mutombo, but that's no.
Well, you heard about the apex predator we accidentally unleashed in Antarctica, right?
Epstein?
No, please tell me.
No, the gigantic spider. It's like 8 feet across.
What?
Like Eight-Legged Freaks? I saw that movie.
Yeah. Supposedly, we were down there researching. We got the nose around where we didn't need to be and defrosted it.
I hate when that happens, dude. I did the same thing with Kid Cuisine last week. I still haven't caught 2 of those nuggets.
Antarctica's no joke, and I don't know what all's down there, but I don't want to know.
Only way to find out.
Go snooping around and
Palace
de-thaw something.
Expedition.
Hey, yeah.
There's got to
Does
be
have a nice ring to it.
Next
Iron Palace takes the Arctic.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason why it's illegal to go down there.
This checks out.
Can't argue.
I thought maybe that's where the edge of the earth was.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, you got to cross the Drake's Passage to get down there.
I'm not going anywhere near Drake's Passage. After
Not
what,
again,
after what Kendrick Lamar just said, no, thank you.
I was thinking Drake Bell, but either one of them will get you.
Drake Bell.
I feel a little safer with Drake Bell, but
They both have walked towards people like that.
I feel like there were different outcomes with those, though.
I'm going to get you. The old Dan Snyder shuffle. I'm going to get you.
All right, so I guess we're all agreed on the. I don't even remember what it's called now.
Wego.
The Wego.
I'm still on the goat sucker, dog.
Yeah, I mean, chupacabra is quick.
Close the distance, dog. Get them ankles.
I don't know, dude. If this thing can read minds, and it's a demonic Sasquatch, I'm kind of feeling like it's winning.
We don't know that it speaks Spanish, though.
What about
That's a good point.
okay, Mothman.
Mothman.
He stole my catalytic converter in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. I want that T-shirt so bad.
You seen the footage of Mothman at 9/11?
I have.
No.
We don't have to ask where he was at 9/11 on 9/11 because we know.
No, he was standing on top of one of the towers.
He's been around for a lot of events like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
the first
bridge.
documented event was the Silver Bridge.
Yeah.
Wasn't the day before Christmas or Christmas
Yeah,
Day?
I think it was the day before. They saw him on the day before Christmas, and the bridge collapsed the next day on Christmas, I think.
What about the mimics of the Appalachian?
I don't use that word.
You don't
Mimic.
or mimic.
I've seen a lot of footage
sounds like a slur.
lately of people claiming their dogs are skinwalkers.
I
My
think
dog
mine
eats
is.
poop.
Talk about those mimics in Kentucky about their dog turning into dogs trying to get into the house.
Yeah. There's one guy, he's got like a little small
Dog's not allowed in the house.
dog, and
It's a cat.
he's talking to him. He says, go this way, and fetch. He's like, you're not my dog. No, my dog doesn't know any of those tricks.
And the dog stood up and said, "All right, you got me." And walked in.
You know me so well.
And I have a cigarette on my. It's a long walk.
It's been a long day, brother.
I think if I was a skinwalker, I'd get in a better body than a schnauzer, though, wouldn't you think?
I don't know though. They don't do nothing all day.
The old Buffalo Bob technique.
I mean, think about it though. If you're just a dog, like, what do you do all day? Just nothing.
Lick yourself.
But so maybe I'd pick a cooler dog though.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I'd be a Great Dane for sure, but maybe not.
You're already a Great Dane.
Yeah, and they got a low life expectancy,
I'd
so I
be
don't.
whatever dog barks like DMX did in all the songs. whatever dog he was doing an impression of, that's what I want to be.
I guess I want to be whatever dog.
Yeah.
Because we got that dog in us, anyways. That was for Alan.
Yes.
You ever see that dog? It's called a Basenji. It doesn't actually bark. It's
Gesundheit.
It's got this yodel sound that it
I
makes.
have not, but I'm intrigued.
What does it sound like?
Yodel, 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 yodel.
Almost like that.
Ricola.
It's some kind of African hunting dog.
Yeah.
It looks like a fox.
Well, I know you're into dogs, dude. That's your business. We had a weirdo on last time too.
Well,
I was like, where are you going? I was slow. Sorry.
We've all been there.
the dog I really want's a Connie Corso. I don't know if you've seen one. It's a bodybuilder of dogs. So.
Yep.
Yeah, they're big, scary looking.
My cousin has one.
Yeah, their bite force is more than a lion. It's 700 pounds per square inch.
Cousin's got one. That sounds awfully suspicious to us. She's a model in Canada. He goes to another school. You wouldn't know her.
Dog, listen, you don't want this smoke. There's a reason I'm holding this belt, all right?
Yeah, because T-Law brought it for you. You didn't earn it.
Well, you didn't earn yours either, all right?
Prove it. Prove it. Beat me in the rug right now. Let's go.
I just got this set up. We'll come back later.
Okay, so we're having
Set you
Iron
up with an ass
Palace.
whooping.
So we're going to do the Iron Palace, Iron of Grievances, and then the Feats of Strength, right?
I'm in.
This podcast
I'm gonna
isn't
show the
over
strength of
until
my
you
feet.
pin me.
Whoa. We're not that kind of podcast.
Life hack. He's ticklish.
Where?
You'll find out. His heart.
Aw.
He's emotionally ticklish.
Instead of crying, he laughs. Oh, samesies.
You should have seen us when we went to watch Titanic and he was laughing. Everybody was like, what's he laughing at? I'm like, he's emotionally ticklish, guys. He's like, Jack. Jack. Meanwhile, I'm over there freaking tissues up to my ankles, just
I'm still wondering why Titanic Part 2 hadn't come out. Jack Revenge.
Yeah. Just comes floating back the same way he went down.
30 years later.
Now listen here, Rose. There was room on that door for me too.
They find him swimming from Cuba.
Jack's Revenge. Plot twist. He's Captain Jack Sparrow.
Ooh, there it is.
Well, if you get into the Titanic, like actually looking into it, there was more than meets the eye. It wasn't just a ship it banged into an iceberg and sank.
Insurance fraud.
Yeah. Well, also is tied to the Federal Reserve also because they had every prominent millionaire at that time on the same ship.
And that one guy backed out, that got them all on there.
Yeah, John Jacob Astor was the one they were really after. And there is a theory that they actually crashed into the rescue ship because they had no intention on killing all the common people.
So Jack died for nothing.
Pretty much.
Well, that's a 2 times dying for nothing.
Yeah. Man.
I don't know if I'd have been in the movie Gilbert Grape. I probably would have drowned too. I'm ashamed to say I saw that movie and don't ever want to see it again.
Why'd you watch it?
I don't even remember.
He was feeling emotionally ticklish. Wanted to scratch that itch.
I needed to get something out.
It was one of those mid-90s movies that always came up on the previews, and it's like, hey, I better check that out. And it's like, no, I better not check that out.
My mind is telling me no.
But my body.
Telling me yes.
That's
I ain't trying to hurt nobody. Sorry, Travis.
That's one thing I miss about streaming.
R. Kelly?
Streaming and DVDs. You don't get previews anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to be like, ooh, I'm going to watch that when it comes out. I want to watch that when it comes out. You don't get that anymore.
No,
Now something's been out for
Girls Gone Wild 4, I just watched 2.
it's been out for like 6 months, and you were like, when was this released?
Or back when I was a kid, I mean, you waited 6 months for a video to come to Blockbuster.
Oh, man, I miss Blockbuster.
Or
I wouldn't buy that Blockbuster.
Even before Blockbuster, the mom and pop shops had only got 1 copy.
Yeah.
You were on the waiting list for months.
Somebody already got it, yeah.
I grew up going to Blockbuster and Hastings. That was the 2 places to be right there.
I miss Hastings bad.
I will say, at least it's been replaced with something cool like Harbor Freight. Not a sponsor.
Could be.
Could be.
Remember Renting 300 from Blockbuster? That was a peak time.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention my sponsors are making my appearance possible. Ashley Schaefer BMW and Sex Panther Cologne.
60% of the time, it works every time.
I was wondering why you were smelling so good.
made the bits of real panther.
It's illegal in 12 countries.
Hey, when you were talking about watching that movie, I don't remember what year it was in college, but a friend of mine, he worked at the movie theater, and he'd get in to watch movies, for nothing or whatever. Nothing was going on that day. We're like, man, let's go to the movies. So he and I drove over there, and the only thing that hadn't started yet was A Walk to Remember. And we're like, whatever, we're here, we're going to watch it.
I like to remember walking.
So, like, do you remember the premise for that movie?
Never seen it.
About it. So
I know it was by the guy that wrote all those lady movies that come out there in the string.
Is it Mandy Moore? I think it's Mandy Moore that's in it.
The one that was lip syncing on SNL?
Maybe.
No. I was thinking of another one. Never mind.
That was that was Jessica Simpson's sister, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. But yeah, she had cancer.
That was awesome.
And yeah, she had terminal cancer, and she falls in love with this boy, and like I don't know. They make you think that they're going to find a cure, and then she doesn't. But like we're sitting there, and I'm trying not to cry, because
Can't be crying in front of the boys, dude.
Travis is over laughing.
like so I look over, and Brian is who I was with. Brian was like crying, and I was like, I know, man. Like I watched it. Like,
queer.
So then we get back to the college, and it was a Friday, and that was when we were boxing every Friday night. So like I just had this like emotional draining experience, and then they're like, "Hey, Holland, you're boxing tonight." And I'm like, really?
I've already fought hard today.
Can we talk through this?
That's like from Ready to Rumble when they're coming back from Jimmy King getting betrayed and they're damn allergies. Stupid allergies.
Does that dude have a terminally ill woman in all of his books and movies?
Yeah, I think so.
What was the only one of those movies that got me was where the guy was paralyzed? Did you see that one?
Superman?
No.
What?
That was after the movie.
Oh.
I thought that was Wild Wild West where he had the really cool wheelchair and he was only half a body.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dude was paralyzed and he got a caretaker. It was the same chick that played in played in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Daenerys.
Yeah.
Blade Runner.
No. And like the whole movie, like they're falling in love, and he makes her think like, "Oh, I'm not going to do medical suicide." And at the end of the movie, he's like, Nah, I'm still committed to I'm still doing it.
Yeah, I saw the previews for that movie, and I was like, no, that's one that's going to make me cry. I don't watch movies that make me cry.
It will.
Not on purpose.
I watched that one, like the whole movie. Like they're getting together. She's like, I'll make you want to live. He's like, okay. End of the movie, he's like, they go off to like his foreign country and everything. And they're like, she's like, what are we doing here? And he goes, oh, this is where I'm going to die.
Like,
oh my God.
Psych, you failed.
Yeah, it didn't work.
I still want to die.
Days of Thunder.
Well,
Rowdy just wanted to race, man.
I thought you were going to say Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
I've never saw it because I don't do many horror movies, but there's a late
Many
80s
what movies?
horror.
Oh,
There's a late 80s.
He does a lot of the first kind.
Yeah. We did the real want to get into that.
no, we're good.
Top 3 on the search history. Go.
It's a movie called Monkey Shines, and it's a horror movie about this guy who's evidently paralyzed, and he had this helper monkey, and it either gets possessed or gets rabies or something like that.
Dude, monkeys are terrifying anyway.
I agree.
That one that ripped that lady's face off.
Yeah. That's why I always wonder, like, these people keep getting pets of monkeys and then are then really confused whenever they get attacked.
Yeah, they're like, oh, he was such a good boy. Yeah.
I have the same reaction that I did when people are like, oh, Thor's on steroids?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Really?
Yeah.
Next thing you're going to tell me Ronnie Coleman took steroids.
Yeah. What?
There's a lot
The
of
thing with the chimps is these people get like too old, run out of money to really take care of them, and then they're almost as smart as you are, and they're in a tiny cage. Of course, they're going to go eat crap. I feel that
Yeah.
same way. We're in a factory every day.
Well, I mean, baboons, they're one of the most brutal animals in animal
Well, I would
kingdom.
too if my butt was that red.
Yeah. Got to make you wonder why they're so angry all the time.
You got a case of the red ass.
It'd make you angry.
Yeah.
Babies
Me-
scream when they get that.
Yeah, put some powder on it.
Makes me angry after work, I'll tell you that much.
Hey.
Feel better? That one launched you off the seat a little bit.
I had to, or my eyes would have popped out of my head.
You're taller now.
I need a blow off valve.
Your
I
glasses
blew
still
an
fit.
O-ring. Well, they fogged up.
Oh, and since we got the wrestling belts, I already announced to Corbin, announced to the whole world, Vince McMahon cleared of all federal charges.
Turns out he's not a rapist.
Yeah. Well, hey.
He's just a pervert, but that's not illegal.
It's frowned upon, like masturbating on an airplane.
What movie's that from?
The Hangover.
Yeah, I
It's
couldn't
not illegal. It's frowned upon.
Yeah.
So did you boys watch the Royal Rumble?
I haven't watched modern wrestling in probably 20
Me neither.
You can call that wrestling.
Yeah, I don't. I stick with the old school stuff.
I always see the like highlights come through on like TikTok and Facebook and stuff. So that's the only reason I even know anything about what's going on.
And you watch and you're like, if this is the highlights, then
That's kind of what like. Okay, for one, I love John Cena, but I don't know. Watching him wrestle now, you can tell he's not in. He's there because he has to be.
Yeah, it's.
and I think he owes a little money to China.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well-
that Chinese apology he did was the weirdest thing. You ever seen that?
No.
Yeah, he said something and like it upset the Chinese government, and he's got an entire apology video he does in Mandarin.
What
Wait,
bothered me-
he speaks Mandarin?
He learned it for that video just to learn.
I was about to say, you know what is just as shocking as him knowing Mandarin is if you watch any video of Martin Zalisi's in Japan, homie speaks fluent Japanese.
Really?
Never would have thought that. Like he's got a
Me either.
translator with him for whatever reason, which is also really funny. We know. Martins goes over there and he's in the sumo wrestling dojo, and the sumo wrestlers are talking about him.
He's a strong man.
Yeah, thinking that he's not going to. They don't know what we're saying, and then someone said they have a translator and he speaks Japanese, and they go, "Oh," because they were definitely talking about his thing. Which, fun fact for sumo wrestling, since undoubtedly we're going to get into this, apparently if you are well endowed, it is a weakness because if it falls out of your diaper in a mid-match, it is literally up for grabs.
It's part of the part of the uniform, kind of like the hair in football.
It is
Oh gosh.
literally up for grabs, and
Dude, I dare you take a hold of that thing. See what happens.
it'll be like that one dude on that local wrestling.
Oh, that wasn't local. I'm pretty sure that was that in Japan. That weirdo that he's like a sex offender.
Yeah, he.
Well, obviously,
legit, like
his
he's a
special
joke
move
for
is
Yeah,
grabbing people's
unfortunately-
winky.
Somehow
He
he.
gets his winky grabbed.
I'm
Oh,
trying to-
that's it.
Yeah, he. That's his whole
Yeah.
claim to fame. Is I can see his face right now, but I can't think of his name. That's his whole. Well, I've actually seen, unfortunately, him at like fan conventions, and that's how you take a picture with him. You grab his crotch.
No thanks.
Not falling for that again.
He. I
You
mean,
pay him?
Yeah, you pay
You pay him to grab his thing?
I mean, this guy came up with a stick that people pay him to
Yeah.
fill him up.
I don't know.
Renaissance
if that,
man.
I don't know if that or the invisible hand grenade is worse. Have you seen that footage? It's at some indie show, and the guy mimics and pantomimes this whole deal, pulling the pin on a grenade. He puts it down in the back of the guy's tights. Then the guy sells it, explodes, and everybody flies through the air. And this is supposed to be believable, evidently.
Stand in the ring and find out if it's real, Travis.
I like the pizza guy who's like,
Yeah.
throwing dough the whole match. I don't understand
Yeah,
that.
at least that's creative. I like that.
Well, I don't know
Takes some skill.
how he's become a star. I don't know this. I call him Pockets, Orange Cassidy.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he puts his hands in his pockets and does all his moves with the hands in his pockets.
I don't like it.
I do all my moves with my hands in Caleb's pockets.
He does.
Somehow he's
Can't
kept
vouch.
from getting killed. He flies over the top rope with his hands in his pocket.
It's kind of impressive. You know what I just saw? Like, for whatever reason, I think, the, what's it called? Man, I had a massive brain fart here. Anyways, like Facebook and everything knew that you were coming on this week because I had a lot of like old school wrestling videos pop up. And one of them was like no cells.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite no cells was the Big Show getting like power bombed, which was already a pretty cool feat.
Yeah.
And then homie just like back handsprings up onto his feet. I was like, who sees a 7-foot dude do that?
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the most famous no cells is probably around 86, 87 is right when Lex Luger broke into the business. And just because he was a bodybuilder, he became a big star in Florida.
That's going to be me in Holland soon.
Old school Bruiser Brody, he was old school. I mean, you do not, if you're a rookie, you're not going over the veterans.
Was he the one that got shot in the locker room?
He got stabbed in the locker room.
Yeah.
And they put him in a cage match with Lex Luger. Lex Luger became Southern Heavyweight Champion like 3 weeks into his career, and most of the veterans took that as a defense. So they go in a cage match. They start the match, go like 2 minutes in. Lex is punching him, kicking him. Bruiser just standing there in the corner, just
No selling.
no selling. And finally, he gets tired of it, and he just climbs out of the cages and leaves.
Wow.
Didn't Lex Luger OD Miss Elizabeth?
He was charged with accessory after the fact. He provided her with.
They were in his apartment.
Yeah, they were in his apartment. He called 911 and everything, and he was flipping out. But when you get charged with accessory, I mean, it's kind of hard to deny. I mean,
We've all been there.
You get into really the dark side of wrestling. There's been a lot of tragedy. You can
Don't say it.
Even some of the big stars don't even make it to 40. I mean, Hulk Hogan, Harley Race, they're some of the biggest ones that made it past 40 because it's such a hard life.
Holland lives life hard.
But I made it past 40 then.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's true.
Hard.
Yeah.
that's one
Wouldn't
thing.
even know it.
That's another thing that got me out of wrestling is just I realize you don't have to be a bodybuilder to wrestle, but when I go to a show and I'm bigger than 3/4 of the guys on the show, it kind of takes something away from it.
Yeah, because, those guys used to be like bigger, larger than life kind of.
That used
The
to
word
be
you're
one
looking
of
for
the.
is intimidating.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite bits. Whenever you'd have like Triple H and Scott Steiner doing a bodybuilding show, like
Yeah.
they'd
Yeah.
change the lighting on the ring and everything, and they're up there just hitting double bicep. Dude, like that was legit.
Yeah, I was like, what happened to Big Papa Pump and all that? And now you've got
seen
these
his son?
guys that look. Yeah.
His son's playing football, looking jacked.
I'm like, are they?
Yeah.
Like, are they testing these college players now?
Have you heard the story about Big Papa Pump? He said he never, ever failed a drug test the entire time he's in WWF because one time they told him to go for a steroid test. He said, well, I'll tell you what, tell Triple H to come pick me up in a limo. We'll go test together. He said, then never ask again.
Fair point.
It's the way to do it. Yeah. I was like, I'm glad that he didn't say that he was 100% natural.
Yeah.
I wonder why it changed. Like, why did it change from used to be heavily bodybuilder-ish to now? You either had to you had to either be a bodybuilder
CM
or
Punk.
just big.
CM Punk, I think, ruined it.
I would agree with that.
CM
Well,
Punk ruined it for everybody.
Probably Monday Night Wars also, and the luchadors got real popular, the real high-flying stuff.
Yeah.
And, of course, society contributed to that because we got into this whole deal because wrestling.
Toxic masculinity.
Body positivity.
Yeah, wrestling used to be kind of a closed society. You had to earn your way in. If it was old school, you were going to get the crap beat out of you getting into wrestling. Now
That's why I never did it.
Now you get a viral video. You go to some cheap wrestling school, get on an indie show. Now you get on YouTube. Now you're a star.
Now you're the biggest guy in the Planet Fitness locker room.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it goes back. I mean,
Almost like Brock Lesnar. Some
Yeah.
would say.
That was a deep cut,
I've heard,
dog.
I've heard that's how Brock Lesnar got his start, actually.
I mean, they have this similar builds.
Brock, he can't decide what he wants.
He said, "Who's in here judging me?" I'll whoop their ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, if you've got the money that Brock Lesnar has at this point, I mean,
True.
Yeah, $25 a month is nothing. He's got the black card.
You know, like as big of a star as Brock Lesnar is, I still think he's underrated.
Yeah, he's got a good deal. He's got an Undertaker type deal where he just comes in for pay-per-views. He doesn't go to house shows. He doesn't really do TV that much.
Well, because he's done probably, but like he's gone to UFC, did really well in UFC,
WNBA,
NFL.
and then NFL he did well.
NASDAQ.
WWE's done well. I mean, that's why I think he's pretty underrated.
yeah. I mean, and he was a national champion collegiate wrestler.
Yeah. I mean, he was no gold medalist like Kurt Angle, but
Have you
With a
seen
broken freaking neck.
Have you seen
the size of his
the
neck?
pictures of his daughter?
yeah.
She literally looks like him.
Yeah,
with
the poor
just
girl.
about 3 feet shorter.
Poor girl.
But she is jacked. Wasn't she for shot put? Some form of track and field, wasn't she?
I think she does Greco-Roman
Yeah.
wrestling too.
I mean,
Of course she does.
I mean, obviously she's going to end up being like a fantastic athlete.
I just hope she gets in the ring and beats up Ronda Rousey. That's all I can hope for.
Yeah. Well,
Does Ronda Rousey even wrestle anymore?
no, she's retired, but I think she hurt herself when she came out and actually got beat that first time.
Oh, yeah, against Holly Holmes in UFC? Yeah. And then she came back for the rematch and lost worse.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I hate to say that. I think she's a great fighter. I think she's
Yeah.
a beautiful woman. When she goes out and endorses Bernie Sanders, she got what she deserves.
When you feel the burn, you get burned.
I think she would have done better in wrestling had she not gone under the whole thing of trying to take on the mantle of Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yeah, I thought that was very insulting.
Didn't like it. I mean, I know he gave his sign off on
Yeah.
it. Like, he was cool with it, but still, I
you
just.
know, and she, I mean, I guess she wanted to carry over the rowdy part from her fight, you know, because that was,
Yeah. The Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
but
It's just a lot to say. It's not the same as Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yeah. Well, Don Fry and Ken Shamrock, they both went into wrestling. Don Fry mainly stayed in Japan.
Don Fry's my hero, dude.
Oh,
I think there are a bunch of girls out there carrying purses and wearing high heels. A bunch of sissies. I want to be Don Fry when I grow up, dude.
Oh yeah. Damn. Well, Dan Severn also. He's one of the.
He's a bad dude.
Well, he's the second guy to get nearly paralyzed by Owen Hart.
We've all been there.
You remember that? He did the same upside down pile driver, just like he did Stone Cold, and he was holding him too
What?
low. What? But yeah, I don't know if Jimmy Golden. He's a local guy. I used to talk to him at the old Primo's gym. He said he actually wrestled Dan Severn once in Kentucky on an indie show. He said Dan Severn is so strong, he will hurt you and not mean to.
yeah.
Well, there was Brock Lesnar did that on one. He accidentally ripped the turnbuckle off
Yeah.
during a match. So they had to go the rest of the match avoiding that turnbuckle because he wasn't supposed to rip it off.
Mark Henry, they had the
broke the
Yeah,
chain.
they had the chain. It was supposed to be cut, and it wasn't. They had to,
Yep.
actually had to break it.
What about the Brock Lesnar and Big Show, the superplex that collapsed the whole
Yeah.
That was nuts. I've always wondered if that was set up, though.
I'm not
I mean, I
sure.
could see it not being set up because those are some big dudes.
Either
but-
way, it was impressive. But yeah, if the ring
Yeah.
falling around was.
Yeah.
But you know, was it the Big Show that was saying that the strongest guy that he wrestled was John Cena?
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
he picked him and somebody else up
Yeah,
on his back at the same time.
Yeah, he was like, John Cena's the strongest guy that I've ever wrestled.
Along the same lines as Brock Lesnar, I think John Cena is somewhat underrated. Like, he's a big WWE star, but as far as like strength and fitness level, severely underrated.
And to have to live all this time worrying about being a hustler, being loyal, and having respect, that's a lot to carry.
And you can't even see him half the time.
Yeah.
Have you seen his early days when they called him the prototype?
Yeah. Look, I mean, he looked like his early
What
days.
about when he's the professor of thugonomics, dog?
Dude, that was it. Dude, I had his CD, man. Like, I had it
bet
for a
you
long
did.
time.
If there's one thing I've thought about you, Caleb, it's that you were that kind of white dude. That was like, dude, John Cena.
Dude, yeah.
Have you seen the meme?
And no, I'm not making grilled cheese at night either. I'm making them at night.
You seen the meme where they document all of John Cena's gimmick changes? It's just him wearing a different T-shirt.
Yeah.
Still the same blue jean shorts.
His best introduction ever was at WrestleMania one year whenever he came out with a Tommy gun like he was in the mob. Oh, bro.
Yeah.
So
I remember
sick.
when he used to wear the Jordans in the ring. He'd pump them out before he did the 5-knuckle shuffle. That was classic.
One thing that I can't remember if we've talked about it on here before or not. One thing that I always get annoyed with like local wrestlers or new wrestlers coming in is whenever they steal moves from
Yeah.
like primarily the 5-knuckle shuffle. Like that pretty much suits John Cena for his whole gimmick. Yeah. So it doesn't make sense when another guy comes up with a completely different persona and is over here like,
Well, there's a local guy. His name is J Mac. His
I would change that name.
yeah, his move.
We name names on this podcast.
Everybody knows Rey Mysterio does the 187. Well, he does the 865. Badly.
See, like if I was wrestling, I would steal the people's elbow.
Yeah.
The 619 actually works though.
I feel like
Killed
that's
the guy.
easier to steal though. It's not as like
But I would sell it the same way The Rock does. I'd be like, the most electrifying move in
By far the best people's elbow of all time was when he was wearing the dress pants and the dress shoes.
Slid
Oh,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Bro, that makes my sticker peck out. Dude, I love that one.
Yeah.
Or when him and Stone Cold are wrestling, he lays Stone Cold down on the announcer table. Then he steals the camera from the cameraman. And he's like, "Look, all these thousands of the People's Champs fans. You know, I'm People's Champ, People's this, blah blah." Blah. And then he pans back, and Stone Cold's standing up in the camera and flips him off and stuns him. It's the best, dude.
Oh, one of the best Stone Colds is either my 2 all-time favorites where he throws the belt off the bridge.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or where he puts gold dust in the porta potty and
Yeah,
tips
that's a
it over.
banger. I like the Vince McMahon bedpan too.
Oh,
I'll
that's a
take
classic.
a
yeah.
nurse.
I don't know. Him back in the beer truck is always
The Booker T grocery store is great too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
We'll pass out too.
Dude, I got so stoked. I saw this ad on like TikTok or something that it was like this new thing that a lot of the legends are doing in wrestling. It's like Undertaker's taking it on. It's like League of Legends or something. I forget what they're calling it. But man, what are they calling it? Either way, but like it's got everybody like Undertaker's running it, Booker T. Like I was like, oh, bro, this is the people I want to do anything in my life would be sick. Like,
Yeah, it's. I had a brain lock right there.
But you know, talking
I have
about
that effect on people.
The Rock and Stone Cold and selling, one of my favorite things is the way The Rock sells the stunner.
dude, best.
I thought he was the best until Pat McAfee sold that stunner a couple
Dude,
years
Pat
ago. That was
McAfee is the
incredible. And spit the beer out. Dude, that was the best.
I love Pat McAfee.
That was a great. Selling a stunner looks like it's so much freaking fun, dude.
Yeah.
We should do it right after this.
I'm in. I'll sell the shit out of it.
I'm low key not kidding.
Have you heard the story about Vince McMahon? This is back in the day, long before the Stone Cold days. This is probably early 90s. They all went out.
Well, you could get away with it.
He went out with
Was
like,
that when he was stunning Steve?
well, he was out. Vince was out with the Road Warriors. Several of the WWF guys, they're all out drinking at this club. Vince decided to take everybody's finisher right there in the club.
Ew.
I've seen an independent film like that.
Well, they did a reenactment of it. He takes the Doomsday device right there in the club. Hawk mounts the bar, and Animal's got him on his shoulders, and then he flips over right into the floor, and he jumps up. Yeah, that was great.
You know, fun fact, we actually had a guy on. We went to Kentucky to meet one of our friends to interview him. He actually had Animal kiss him on the lips.
Yeah, kissed him full on the mouth.
I don't know if I'd brag about that.
Because you haven't experienced it.
Yeah. Thought he said it was Animal.
Yeah, Hawk passed away way before Animal did.
I could have swore he said it was Animal.
I don't know. We need to re-listen.
The guy with the mohawk was eyeballing him.
They both had mohawks, didn't they?
No, Hawk had the reverse mohawk.
The reverse mohawk.
Yeah, he was bald in the middle and had the hair on the side.
Dude, that's the only thing cooler than a
Call it
mullet.
the Phil Collins.
Reverse mohawk.
Oh, man, the most epic mullet ever has got to be Mike Awesome. I don't know if you know who he is. Probably the most epic mullet ever in wrestling. He had the modified Billy Ray Cyrus. And if you've never seen him, you need to look up some footage. This guy is 6'8", 320 pounds. He could fly around like Rey Mysterio. He did frog splash.
I whoop him any day.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me the point I was getting at. You was talking about the ring collapse, and there's a less famous spot in ECW, and this happened live on pay-per-view. Bam Bam Bigelow has Taz on his back with the Taz mission, and he jumps back just to sail through the ring, and they go through the ring and break all the boards.
I love Bam Bam Bigelow. I love him in Major Pain.
Yeah.
Yes.
I heard you've been giving these boys a hard time.
My favorite part of Major Pain is when he opens the Coke can in the cafeteria.
Oh, dude. I do that. I do that all the time. If I'm opening anything, it's
Or they give him that high-powered laxative.
Yeah. My dad probably saw that movie 30 times. Every time that he farts and that kid passes out, he would lose it.
Dude, right after his whole monologue after the Bam Bam Bigelow thing is my favorite. Somebody's going to have to explain this blood on my lip. Well, I guess I just had that one coming.
Sometimes I like to hang upside down, blindfold myself, see if I can put my gun back together before my nose starts to bleed.
Went to the closet. If he's still in there, he ain't happy.
We exterminated the boogeyman with extreme prejudice.
Or what about the little engine that could?
Said, I can't feel my legs. Bubba, 'cause you ain't
The
got
next
no
hospital
legs.
for 5 miles unless you can flip upside down and walk on your hands. You ain't gonna make it. Them little bloody nuts start kicking real fast like this.
So I look back, Bubba, you ain't got no legs. These little nubs are just a kicking.
I'll tell you what we ain't talked about. How great is the freaking RKO, dude?
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite is the people that have like superimposed the RKO and the people just falling on the internet.
Yeah.
I love those montages.
Yeah, I remember the
so much.
Ohio State-Oregon championship game. I think a quarterback was dropping back, and he tripped over his own feet and fell. Somebody superimposed him getting the RKO.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, those are my favorite. Especially just people tripping anywhere.
Oh,
Like, it's that, and whenever people put the gunshot noise whenever people are tripping, those two are my favorite things
Yeah,
to watch. Getting
they're-
RKO'd and just...
Yeah, there's one of Chuck Norris, and he's shooting, and people are just tripping and falling, reloading. Pow!
or they do the Prince sound when people are getting hit or falling.
Yeah.
And then he does an entire song in falsetto. Dude, Prince is the only one that can do that and make it cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and he also beat Charlie Murphy in basketball.
Yeah, I've heard an interview of Prince on the radio. He said it was 100% true story. He was like, yeah, I totally beat his ass at basketball. He sucked.
That's what anybody that plays me in basketball will say.
He was like, we're gonna go shirts versus blouses.
You only want to bend over so behind. You set a pick like this.
And still lose.
We close down game. Blouses.
How about your crew against me in the revolution?
He said that was back when the androgynous guy was taking home all the women. People would be like, hey, man, you see that new fine lady in Shalimar? I was like, dude, that's a man. That's Mickey Free. Apparently they were friends. I was on an interview with Mickey. He was like, my mom called me and was like, Charlie got you. And I was like, what are you talking about, Mom? She's like, Charlie got you. You got to watch the Chappelle show when it comes back on. He said, I watched it. I was like, that mother.
My favorite joke like that's from Blades of Glory when he's going around, the guys protesting Chaz Michaels and Jimmy
What a
McElroy. He's like, that blonde chick's a dude. Oh, man.
I miss Will Ferrell being funny. Anyways,
Yeah.
sumo, boys.
Sumo.
Yes.
We don't do deadlifts.
How's it going?
Well, I'm training on my own, working on my balance, working on the initial ritual. It's mainly about right now just getting my strength up. Matter of fact, I was going to talk about it with you guys beforehand. There's a quote unquote tournament in Nashville, May 25th, by the Tennessee Sumo stable down there. They're having the Sakura Cup.
And we're pretty sure we could whoop all those jabronis.
March 25th.
May 25th.
Have you seen that one guy that's in sumo? He's a little guy, and he's been making some waves, dude.
Yeah.
And he's just like doing the whole using their weight against him. He'll just like step out of the way. And they'll just,
Yeah, that's considered bad sportsmanship. But, if you got guys that are automatically jumping at you and bulldozing, just sidestep them.
Yeah, I watched him do that a few times, and I was like, why didn't more people not do this? But yeah, I guess it's frowned upon, but it's not illegal.
Underbrew, as it would say.
There's actually, if I've watched several of the tournaments from the past year, I haven't watched any tournaments for this coming year yet, but there's actually a couple of wrestlers that actually have a power lifter's type physique. They're not, they have a strong upper body, strong legs, but they're not doing that well yet because it's just inexperience.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, people who have an untrained eye, they look at that, it's just two fat guys pushing each other around. Well, no, there's a lot more skill involved when you actually get into the training, the techniques, what's legal, what's not legal.
Well, again, go watch Martins Lacey's video where he trains with sumos over there. Crazy. Like, this dude, Martins Lacey's one world's strongest man, for one. He's held multiple other titles, but he goes over there and, like, first couple exercises, he was like, I'm out. It's like,
yeah.
Like, they're doing like 100 air squats and like 100 other stuff, like before they even get to the actual practice. Like, that's just their warm up. It's like 100 air squats. He's like, I almost died.
I want to be the guy that hits him in the belly with the bamboo sticks.
Dibs. Can me and Dave do that?
He's lying. He wants to be the guy that ties the Mawashis.
I can do both. I'm multi-talented.
And that Mawashi that they wear, that's actually like 6 or 8 feet of material. You actually bring it up.
I've seen you in the locker room. You're about 2.5 feet.
You bring it up to your chest. You run it up the back, and then you fold.
I thought we left this in the last episode.
Yeah, and then you either have to learn how to hold it yourself, or somebody holds it, and you have to actually rotate around and wrap it around your waist, and then they tie it in a knot in the back for you.
Sounds like we're getting ready for work.
Yeah.
So we're going.
Well, I haven't bought a Mawashi yet, but I'm working on it.
Are those legal?
So are we all wrestling, or are we just?
I'm not wrestling.
What?
I'm a hype man, dog.
Well, I'm gonna have to check with them and see if they allow outside participants because it's a small stable. I mean, I've shown Corbin some of our competition, and it's sad.
I wouldn't blame them for not letting outsiders in because they would definitely all.
So I mean,
lose.
but you can be a stable, right? Like
You can. I got. If anybody wants information, go to USA Sumo. They'll give you all the information on starting your own stable, give you the rules, what type of training, what you need to work on, stables close by, keep you updated on tournaments. The big tournament for USA Sumo is in Los Angeles once a year. And there's a Samoan. He's been dominating it for like 3 years straight. He's been undefeated for like 3 years.
Is the one that plays the ukulele
It's just
so beautifully and sings over the rainbow?
But
Oh, that's I know his name too.
But unfortunately,
Either way, he's the world's strongest man competitor.
yeah. Well, I've seen Eddie Hall. I don't really actually train. He did some demos with a couple of sumo wrestlers.
Yeah, he doesn't count.
that guy's undefeated until T-Law starts.
Got that right.
Well, I'd really like to get into it. I mean, I've been interested in it since I was a kid, but until we got the internet, you can actually access worldwide video. I mean, thought earlier you were talking about the guy with the Japanese accent. When I do watch some of the videos, it's NSK Japanese television. There's a guy on there, I don't know what he looks like, but he has this thick British accent.
It's me.
Commenting on the
Sumo.
Yeah.
So chaps.
There's a guy I watch on YouTube. Shout out Metatron. He's freaking awesome, but he's Italian. But he does all of his YouTube videos in English for just audience purposes.
Yeah.
But where he went to college in England, he's got an English accent. When he speaks English, it's really weird.
Yeah,
I hear somebody with slight Italian accent speaking an English accent and call somebody a Muppet. It's pretty odd.
Yeah, but when you get down to the rules of it, I mean, there's several ways to win. You either push out of the ring, or any of your opponent's body besides the sole of their feet contacts the ground.
First one to be erect loses.
Yeah. I've had that problem before.
I'm undefeated.
But unfortunately, USA style, they don't have, unless you go to European tournaments, they don't have the dirt ring. They got just like it's a white mat with a green ring.
I'm learning the older I get, the less I respect anything European.
Yeah. We quit caring what they care about. We quit caring what they think about in 1776.
Praise God. If tomorrow I lost all the things. I got to quit, I'll cry.
Oh, man. Yeah, but it's when you watch it, most matches go less than 30 seconds, if that.
So I try to tell my wife.
Oh, it's fast. It's
Yeah.
fast and violent.
No, they
Just
do have
like,
time limits on the matches.
Just like
It's like a sewing machine.
If you've watched any of the major tournaments, I mean, there are some that go to a stalemate. They'll each have each other's washies, and they'll go to a
what they call
stalemate.
them?
it's like, where's that hand going?
They get a hold of that Milwaukee. And
Yeah. But
They go out to dinner after at least. I mean,
Then they-
good.
I would hope so.
then they accidentally lock eyes and lean in.
That's why it comes up to a draw. They had to leave.
Yeah.
They both walked out
We're going to
together.
settle this in the locker room. We'll tell you who won.
Milwaukee and hand.
Yeah. I don't know about.
Can you take it off and snap somebody with it?
I'm sure you can.
I watched Fat Bastard do that.
Yeah. Well, you can.
Get in my belly.
I didn't have any corn.
If you
Right in
got-
the kaniki.
I hope my wild fighting team is ready.
Hey, diaper lady, I left a rosebud in there for you.
Dude, those movies are so freaking good.
Yeah, they are.
I think Myers is scared to make another one because he made that Pensive Variant movie on Netflix where he played a bunch of different characters. But I'm like, nobody wants this. Everybody, just make another Austin Powers movie, dude.
I don't know. I kind of like.
I think he's afraid to be canceled.
I think he's just afraid to ruin a good thing. It's kind of like Zoolander.
Can you ruin? He's already made 3 and they were all great.
But Zoolander was perfect for number 1. Then you do number 2,
Well, Ben Stiller fell off in general.
like the stairs,
Yes.
like Joe Biden.
Really hard. Yes. With Joe Biden, actually. That's what, that's part of why
down
he sucks
together.
now. Yeah. For some reason, you have to be not funny to be socially acceptable and famous right now. But anyways,
That's what makes me sick about Howard Stern. I've never liked him to begin with, but you go back and look at his old
Yeah.
stuff, and now all of a sudden he's Mr. Innocent,
Yeah.
and I've
he was a
reformed.
dirtbag.
And
He still is a dirtbag.
yeah, and he just wants to keep his career.
There's so many comedians that I find not funny. Like, what's her name? Nikki Glazer. I have literally never one time heard anything she said that's funny, but yet she's super famous for
Whitney
being
Cummings.
a comedian.
Not funny.
Who?
Whitney Cummings. Not funny. She's been on sitcoms and all that. She's got a big podcast. One of Rogan's friends. Not funny.
There's a lot of them like that.
Bert Kreischer. Never thought he was really funny.
Early Bert Kreischer, yes, I thought he was.
The
like
one story, the first time you heard it,
I was about to say The Machine was
the
hilarious
stand-up
the first time.
sucks.
I didn't even want to watch the movie.
He sucks.
Oh, I always got to go with Andrew Dice Clay.
Dice. Dice man.
I don't even know who that is.
You're offended. Let me introduce you to somebody real quick.
Andrew Dice Clay's wild.
Sam Kinison, he was great.
I think the GOAT right now, which everybody thinks is the GOAT, he's like really blown up, is freaking Shane Gillis. He's hilarious. I like his buddy better.
He's hit or miss with me. Like,
Love Shane.
it's primarily since Shane blew up, he's not as funny.
Yeah, I think he's because he's less relatable. I've noticed that too. Like their podcast used to be them just talking about anything, and it was hilarious. Now it's all like, oh yeah, I was hanging out with Joe Rogan, and I was like, it's not relatable, and I've seen that podcast already. So like it's.
And even his like just anything I see him in, it's like
But Matt McCusker, the other guy on the podcast, is phenomenal. I don't know how he's not blown up. The shaman dog.
I was like Dane Cook, but a lot of people said he wasn't funny.
It's coming out now. He stole a lot of material too.
Yeah, like Carlos Mencia.
Yeah. I don't like. There's a lot of the biggest comedians in the world I don't think are funny. Like Bert Kreischer is like an arena act right now. He's like one of the top selling comedians in the world. Don't care for him. The Gabriel Iglesias guy, I think he's cheesy, but he's another one that's like a top seller.
Gabriel Iglesias is another one that used to be hilarious, and now I'm just like, because he's the same way. Once he blew up, it was like everything changed. 'Cause like used to, like whenever he did the not fat, I'm fluffy or whatever, like those hilarious. Like him talking about how you get away from a cop, you can make him laugh. He had a dozen donuts in the seat and he got pulled over, and he said, "Do you know why I pulled you over? Because you could smell it."
That was my policy to get out of trouble in high school. Just keep going till you make them laugh, dude.
Yep, fair enough. But yeah, Gabriel Iglesias is another one that used to be funny. Who else you got?
Kevin Hart.
Again, I say used to be hilarious, but then whenever he started like dipping his paws into everything, I don't think he's as funny anymore.
He's no longer with us. What about Jay Hickman?
Yeah, he's all right.
I don't think I know Jay Hickman.
He told us a story about the boat ride.
Apparently, Michael thinks they're funny.
I won't tell you what his nickname is while we're broadcasting.
Who else you got?
That's not funny. Oh, Ari Shaffir. He's not that big, but he's one of Rogan's buddies.
I don't know who that is either.
It's all the ones that Cat Williams was insinuating
Oh,
were
yeah.
funny. He hit the nail on the head. A lot of those guys, like, there's only two of them that are really funny on Rogan constantly, and that's Shane. He's pretty funny, and Mark Norman. Mark Norman he's like a one-liner dude, and like Joe Rogan takes himself really seriously, so they'll be having this podcast, and Mark Norman will just stab him with these one-liners, and you can see Rogan just trying to be mad, but Rogan really fangirls over Shane, and Shane thinks it's hilarious, so eventually he'll start agreeing, like, yeah, it's funny. Like, they were talking about something, and Rogan's like, they were talking about a bomb, and he's like, I'm not a bomb expert, and Mark Norman goes, you just see your act? And Shane just starts dying laughing, and Rogan's kind of mad, and then acts like he's laughing to join in, but yeah, those are the only two funny ones.
Bill Burr, he's 50-50. Sometimes
He's
good.
fell off a little.
Yeah.
He used to be the shit. Now he's fell off a little bit. Well, I mean, he's gotten older. I would like a lot of people say, oh, he's gone. Well, I don't think he's gone. I think he's just gotten a little older, a little softer, lost a little bit.
He had
of
a
his edge.
newer special came out a couple of years ago that was pretty good.
He's okay,
But
He's
again,
still not like
yeah,
peak Burr.
I agree.
Well, you know, he's just like he's not as angry as he.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Which
Yeah,
I can understand. Like, I think he's just gotten older.
Life's gotten good.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, life's good. Which is I think it's why a lot of these guys have stopped being funny because now they don't need to be as funny because they're not trying to get out of
yeah.
poverty.
I think you take shitty things to make funny things, and they're
Yeah.
not experiencing a whole lot of shitty things. Theo.
Oh, Theo
Gang,
Vaughn.
gang. He's always funny just because the way his brain works.
Theo Vaughn,
Praise
honestly,
God.
he is funnier outside of comedy specials. Like he's funny just as he is. Like you watch him on his podcast, hilarious.
I've seen him live. He's pretty freaking hilarious.
And that's what I'm like. Again, I think he put on a great show, but like his comedy special was just,
Yeah.
it was okay. Like he had some funny moments, but as a whole, I didn't much like it.
I do like Theo. He's a great podcast.
Oh,
One of the best
absolutely.
podcasts around.
He's one of like, typically.
He
if
has JD Van, or no, he told Trump, wasn't it? You used to be able to do cocaine in this country.
yeah, I feel like
Hero, dude.
whenever I look at podcasts, if I see one get over an hour, it's got to be good for me to watch it. And Theo Vaughn's is one I'll watch without really paying much attention to how much time is on it, other than just to make sure I've got time to listen to it.
I'll do clips like on the way into work. I really
Yeah.
rarely listen to a whole podcast, but I can turn on a Theo one and it pass by like that. Like, oh shit, I didn't mean to listen to the whole thing, but I guess just sit here and listen to it.
Because he somehow gets really good guests.
Yeah.
Like JD Vance.
Yeah.
How's that happen?
He's got a huge audience.
It's true.
I used to enjoy watching the Whatever podcast. Now it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Seems like they get more annoying women every time they put it on.
I always try to get on. Every time I'm trying to find a new podcast, I'll go to like primarily Spotify is what I use. So I go to Spotify and I'll look at like the top ones.
We're on Spotify, by the way.
We are on Spotify. That's why I listen to all of our episodes on Spotify. Or you can also find us on Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, YouTube. I think we're on iHeartRadio.
Anywhere where you can stream a podcast,
You
that's
can
where
find
we're
it.
at.
But
Sorry.
like anytime I look at like the top 50 highest rated podcasts, all of them are terrible. Except there's some true crime ones that are good.
Yeah.
So I don't listen to podcasts, but if I do, it's typically I watch, like I said, a Theo on YouTube, but I listen to like Hardcore History a lot. That's like the only one I'll really listen to.
I listen to the Iron Palace podcast.
Yeah, like my number one favorite podcast that I listen to, Iron Palace podcast. My second favorite that I do listen to pretty avidly is Morbid. Not a sponsor, but I will plug their stuff because they are fantastic. If you like true crime or you like learning about serial killers, they're great. I highly recommend listening to them while you're in the public.
You listen to Hardcore History, don't you? Those are great.
Yeah.
They're like several hours long, but they're super detailed. And he talks like this the entire time. It's phenomenally good. Yeah. It takes like months between episodes, but they're worth it because like it'll be like a 3-parter and each episode's 4 hours long. And like by the time it's over with, it's like I know everything there is to know about Julius Caesar. The Supernova in the East one's pretty good. I just re-listened to the one about Caesar fighting the Europeans, whatever you wanted to call them at the time,
Got
the
it.
losers.
Kilts.
No, it was the genocide of wasn't the Celts. Can't think of their name right now.
Oh, it definitely wasn't the Kilts.
Yeah, they killed like 90% of the population of one of them. Just can't remember who they are now.
Well, to change it up a little bit, I say I want to hear Dave's best WWE promo.
No.
I'm not your puppet.
I want to hear Caleb's.
Well, we'll go around the room, but I need prep time. You don't.
Well, you better prep yourself for an ass whooping, brother, because one's coming in hot. I got this bling bling for my ding-a-ling, and guess what? I earned it. All right, this ain't no middle of the mall shit, player. This is the kind of stuff you get for being the cream of the mother effing crop. I cut that out for you, Linda, because you know what? Even bad men love Holland's mama.
What?
What did you think about that, Caleb?
Thought
It don't matter what
There
you
it is.
think about it, you jabroni.
there it is.
Forgot to tie my shoes.
You know, that was one of the best lines out of that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Even bad
that's
men
a
love their
great movie.
mama.
Fantastic movie. Name the movie.
I don't know.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
My turn.
Yeah,
It
your
was a
turn.
live-action Flintstones movie with John Goodman.
Yeah. Rosie O'Donnell said
Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell said
You
she
say
was bad
live
for
action
Flintstones.
Flintstones? There actually was a live action Flintstones movie.
With John
yeah.
Goodman.
And Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for, a,
Where she said
I
even
forgot
bad
Rosie
men love their
O'Donnell was
mama.
in there.
yeah, and for a solid year they called McDonald's Rock Donald's because they were sponsoring the movie.
I'm still calling it Rock Donald because that's awesome.
I want a McRib from Rock Donald.
Like, would it be called a rock?
Didn't
rock
they call
rib
it the
then?
Mastodon sandwich or something?
Ooh, that's a way cooler name. Why is that name not used in anything nowadays? Like the Mastodon?
I
bro,
mean, it
that's
was a
sick.
metal band.
Yeah.
But
Have you heard the
It's probably
theory that
trademark.
Flintstones actually takes place in the future?
yes, it's like a post-apocalyptic. Yeah. That's why there was that carryover. There was a crossover, the Jetsons and the Flintstones one time, and that was kind of tied it all in.
Yeah. And since Corbin brought up Dan Schneider earlier, you heard the dark theory behind the show iCarly that Crazy Steve murdered Drake, Josh, and their parents, and he kidnapped Megan and brainwashed her into believing her name was Carly and took her off to Seattle.
Whoa.
Which it holds water because there's no other adults in her life except Spencer and Granddad, and he's only in 2 episodes.
Did you see the Dan Schneider YouTube video he did? It was like an interview where he was like, I'm not a pedophile. But like you could tell that he had written the whole thing. Like it's a set he put up. And he keeps using this guy in videos since then. I guess he can't find work anywhere else, but it was the guy that was selling the donuts on a stick on iCarly. It's like he's a serious journalist asking Dan Schneider these T-ball questions.
Yeah, that's the guy that had the autographed painting of John Wayne Gacy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all weirdos,
And
dude.
he was so proud of it, he had to show the whole cast.
Oh, I did. Yeah, because that dude wound up getting found guilty and fired off the set of Nickelodeon,
Yeah.
but then got rehired on Disney doing another kid show after all that happened.
That's why it doesn't surprise me that they're accusing Drake the rapper, not Bill. He already got accused too, but the Drake the rapper, because I'm like, dude, he was on a show. He's probably perpetuating what happened to him. Like, it's not funny, but I mean, the people in this system, they do that.
I know, like it kind of like
you go.
everybody
I'm
talks.
gonna get you.
Everybody talks about what happened to childhood stars, but then like all this stuff's
Yeah.
coming out, and I'm like, no kidding.
Yeah.
What would happen to you? Like,
I mean, it goes back as far as Shirley Temple. She talked about things
she's
that
an
happened to
angel.
her.
yeah,
Wasn't they giving what's her name, Judy Garland, like hormone blockers and stuff to try to keep her looking young?
Yeah,
I did hear that. Yeah,
Yeah, she had to have a forced abortion in like the, I think, early 50s because her management had said, no, you're not to get pregnant in any circumstances.
Yeah. Hollywood, CIA, FBI, corrupt from the get-go. If you're listening, which I know you are. You try to say you're not, but you are.
You know, to my FBI agent, sit on it and rotate.
Hope you don't like your job.
Most of them got fired anyway.
I'm saying.
they volunteered. So, anyways, since we're talking about volunteering, you can always volunteer to listen to the podcast, and you'll hear about these sick products that we've got. Hit it, Holland.
Yeah. So, number 1 on our list, Zone smelling salts. They're top of the line smelling salts. If you haven't used them, I recommend them. That you use them. Crazy kick in the pants if you're needing it for that little extra boost in the gym, hitting a PR, staying awake on a road trip. I mean, they're just multi-faceted.
If you open them in your car, roll the window down.
Yes, yeah. Especially if they're super fresh. But that is a Zone Bear Down Steel Frost. It's got menthol in it, a little extra zest. But go to Go to Zone Smelling Salts and use code
Go Tug.
TIPP.
Don't go too close and don't breathe in too deep. I made that mistake. That's probably plenty close, actually. Woo! I put lead in your pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit PRs all day.
I think I burned the hair off my rear end.
Dude, when I got done smelling it the first time, mine looked like I remember in sync with bleached tips, bro.
His hat didn't fit right no more. That's why he didn't want to smell him too good this time. My glasses wouldn't fit.
I had highlights, dog.
But I love these.
And we ain't talking about the kind of goofus and gallant. Remember highlights? We should get some highlights magazines in here, dude.
Yeah.
That's what we need for when we have a bad guest. They trail off to play highlights magazine. I start flipping through it. Maybe Holland can see we find all the things.
Find the difference in the pictures.
You know what else makes for good highlights? If right after you hit those, you're wearing some Iron Palace gear
Oh, man. Yes.
while you're videoing your newest PR. So make sure you check out our link in the description on our Etsy page. If you don't want to click the link, you can just go to Etsy, search up the Iron Palace, and it's going to pop up.
And tag us in a video you hit in your PR. We want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try my best to get you a 405 bench press video.
Another thing I want to do is future Caleb, edit this, is so me and Holland are adventuring onto bodybuilding for the next 16 weeks.
Yeah.
Our hard date for the Iron Palace Classic is June 7th. That's whenever me and Holland are going to be hitting the stage, and by stage I mean probably this room. But what I want to see is everybody do this cut with us. Hit your own 16-week prep, however you see fit to do it, and then let's see your cut pics in 16 weeks.
We got to wear bikini underwear.
Yes.
Perfectly.
Yes.
Spray tan.
Okay,
Yep. You don't have to, if you're going to just post your video or post your poses online, then you don't have to worry about it. But me and Holland are doing full trunks, full tan. This is going to be the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
If I get to participate, I'm wearing a thong. I'm just telling you right.
Praise God.
And he's wearing it backwards.
So get them in, and maybe we'll select a winner, and maybe you'll win some Iron Palace gear. So
We sell gear?
I think it's a good idea.
mess around and find out, dog.
Yeah.
So June 7th.
June
If you want to post your before pictures and tag us in it, use hashtag Iron Palace Classic, or just post them tagging the podcast. Either way, and then in 16 weeks, June 7th.
Give you a quick tip given to me by professional bodybuilders.
You don't have to give anybody a quick tip. It's fine.
Once you put the tanning lotion on, Pam, cooking spray all over you makes you good and shiny.
Holland, you didn't hear that.
Listen, I already cover myself in pan.
That's the first thing he does when he gets up in the morning.
That was the first part of my cut routine.
That's how he gets out of bed. He throws the blanket back, pans up, and just slides out.
That's all you hear in the sheets is.
That's right.
So
First thing I do is get up and open my bedroom door with no hands. I mean,
Only toes.
donk.
now, while you're getting ready for this cut, if you need a little extra oomph in the gym, go to NutriFit.com.
That's right.
Use code Caleb C Day at checkout to get yourself some pre-workout, protein, collagen, anything that you need. It's a one-stop shop, so go hit it. And on the off chance you don't like any of our apparel, we do have another apparel company that you might like.
Yeah, these guys are awesome. Hosswear.com. Shirts, hoodies, shorts, hats, kind of geared towards the strongman powerlifting crowd. Code TIPP with them also. Get a discount.
I think that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
It's good podcasting, Holland.
Get those before and after pics in.
Yeah. I want to get some more people involved on it.
Yeah.
We got a cool name like Iron Palace Classic. Why don't we use it?
That's right. You know, and maybe if we get enough like response, I think we should like set up and have an actual like stage down. People can come and watch it.
If we get enough interest, we can do it.
You know?
And then if we get enough interest, maybe this becomes a yearly thing
Let's
where
say
next year.
If we get enough, I'll set a threshold. If we get enough, I'll do it next year.
What's your threshold?
All right.
See how many likes we need.
How many?
We need a few hundred. 500 likes. That's
All
a
right.
big, hefty goal, so I don't think I have to do it.
So, future Caleb, hashtag editor, cut all this. We need 500 likes, and David's doing it next year.
Waist down only, though.
But, and also, if we get enough likes and enough attention and enough people want to compete in this thing, maybe Iron Palace hosts a legitimate Iron Palace Classic next year.
Yeah.
We're not going to go full old Roman style. Everybody goes full nude.
We're definitely not doing that.
That's
Not
for
again.
That's for, not again. Not after last time.
We had 2 eyes put out.
Some very unhappy people.
We had to refund a lot of money. It was bad.
Yeah,
As a
we're still
souvenir for a
reeling
lucky
from that
fan.
lawsuit.
Yeah, I found out the hard way. Don't answer your door for Jehovah's Witnesses before you put a towel on.
Well,
They've got me
You ever
too
had
like
pink
10
eye
times.
and a black eye?
They don't ever come back.
The pink eye or the black eye?
Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh. Don't.
All right.
All right, so Travis, I can't remember if we've asked you this before. I feel like we probably have. If you were a WWE wrestler, what would your finishing move be?
Definitely be the Death Valley Driver, except I would call it the Grave Digger.
I like it.
Be careful not to say that too fast.
What, Death Valley Driver?
That too.
Well, it's called I gotta correct myself. It's called the Spicoli Driver now since he passed away.
All right, well, I know what you're talking about, but since I can tell by the look on their faces they don't know what that move is, I think you should explain it to us.
Put your opponent up into a fireman's carry, bring him down sideways like a pile driver.
Okay.
Louis Spicoli
Like it.
was the first one to do that. That's why it's now called the Spicoli Driver.
I just saw today that I think so my answer to this question was the power bomb. It's one of my favorite moves. However, I just saw videos today of Kane's falling power bomb. That's what's up. I think that's what I want my new one to be.
Have you seen the Chris Candido top rope power bomb?
I don't think I could say any of those words consecutively. So no.
I'll show you a video.
Say that
It's
5 times
unreal.
fast.
There's no way.
Or one time, kind of slow.
Chris Candido's what?
He called it the blonde bombshell.
Why didn't you call it that then? I could say that.
Well, I had to
That's
describe
his
what
screen
it
name
was.
on AOL, dude. When he's playing chess on AOL, dude, he's the blonde bomber.
But I don't think you can
Hey,
play chess on AOL. It'll
No
time
kidding. I
out.
still get all my emails on my AOL
No kidding.
Man of taste. I like it.
Yeah.
because I think I was going to get a bank loan or something, and I told her AOL, and she's like, "Seriously?"
She was like, how old are you?
You're the reason that AOL is still open? You're the last one.
I had a couple things that still use mom and dad's old Comcast.net
Oh.
email.
Hey.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a web server called CompuServe or
Yep.
something like that?
Yep. It was another one. It was AOL and them that gave away the CDs on cereal boxes.
Oh yeah. If you gave them away, you got 10 free hours, or you got people
Yeah.
to join, you got 10 free hours.
Do you remember Ask Jeeves?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My tech lab teacher in middle school would get mad if we used Google. He's like, "No, we use Ask Jeeves in here. It's the superior search engine." It was just Google's marketing.
You know, I think maybe my computer's just set up weird, but if I type in Google, like in the search bar, but I mess up and I don't type in google.com correctly, it will just pop up Bing, and it'll have a Bing search for Google. I was like,
Bing's your default.
apparently I don't like it. But,
Bing and decide.
David, what'd you say your finishing move would be?
I like the outside of the ring sweet chin music where you act like you're walking away.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
turn around. That's the shit. But like in the ring, it's gotta be like I'm a stunner guy for sure, or an RKO one too.
I could see you doing the stunner for sure.
You think I'm not athletic enough to do an RKO? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I'm a bit of an apex predator.
A bit of one? Pretty tough.
I'm kind of tough.
That's my tag team partner. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Don't
That
ask
would
her
be
how
it.
it went.
What? I'm not gonna lie, that took me a second.
Wait a minute. Don't be building no Eiffel Tower
I'm
now.
about to say that's what I was going for. See, that's why we're tag team partners. He knows exactly what
Yep.
we're about doing next.
He finishes your
Finishers.
Don't answer that.
No, don't answer that.
Sometimes we do finishers together.
Holland, what would be your finishing
It
move?
would be the most electrifying move in wrestling entertainment history. It'd be the people's elbow.
I would give you the people's eyebrow, but I've not trimmed my people's eyebrow in a minute, so it's just one.
It's the people's
Yeah.
unibrow.
Sometimes my eyebrows get a little chummy, and I got to separate them up. Hey, boys,
Hey,
I'll
hey.
get up.
I'm not gonna lie though. maybe it seems a little bit gimmicky, but I think The Rock has the best stage presence ever.
Yeah,
like his promos, the way he talks, what he cares, everything's perfect.
How can you make just an elbow drop cool?
How can you make an eyebrow raise iconic?
But it's got to be sideburns Rock, man.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
Silk shirt, sideburns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Narrow sunglasses.
You remember the skit when he was with the Nation of Domination? He gave them all of them the Rolexes except Farouk, and he gave him a portrait of himself.
I think that's why him and Stone Cold worked so well, though, because he was like so flamboyant and everything, and Stone Cold would just let somebody finish the big promo and then just. Or when The Rock did that big thing of go down Know Your Road Boulevard, take a left on Jabroni Lane, and check into the Rock Bottom Hotel, and Stone Cold said, "I'll take that stroll down Know Your Road Lane, and I'll make that left on Jabroni Boulevard, and I'll check into that Rock Bottom Hotel. Right to room 316 and burn some bitch to the ground. Give me a hell yeah."
Dude, why did wrestling stop being so cool?
I know.
Like, those are the best promos.
Dude, when the Attitude Era ended,
Oh,
it
dude,
was
it's
just
perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can never forget about D-Generation X, dude.
Like New Age Outlaws. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, no.
Dude, like, who would have thought that Triple H would have been so cool in D-Generation X?
Yeah.
Because I could have seen Shawn Michaels going that route, but seeing Triple H go was just perfection.
D-Generation X was the shit.
Yeah.
Well, by far, my favorite Rock is when Y2J shows up and interrupts his promo. He says, "Little jabroni, you dare come on the Rock show and don't even bother to introduce yourself? Who are you anyway? It doesn't matter who you are. Don't matter who you are."
Dude, Rock was just so perfect.
Yeah.
There is nothing in life that will consistently make my granddad laugh as hard as when I can catch him off guard with it. Don't matter if I can catch him slipping one of those, makes his day.
Or what about when Billy Gunn won the King of the Ring?
That's man Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
His new thing is the Gun Club, which is kind of catchy. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, he's over 60 and he's still jacked.
He's pretty freaking shredded.
That's the way I'm going to be.
Pharmaceutically.
I don't like that whole scissoring gimmick they got going on.
Look, we've all dipped our toe in it. What? Some have dipped our gooch in it.
Okay, we're getting a little off topic.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah, it's Hollywood, man. Everybody getting out again.
Not again.
Dude. Talk about a treasure of a film.
We're supposed to be a unit.
Look like Rambo. Not Rambo 1, Rambo 2. You know how Rambo, you got a little puffy, and Rambo 2, you got all cut up? That's you, man. You're more shredded than a julienne salad. Did Robert Downey Jr. made that movie?
Oh, 100%.
And they've tried to cancel him for the blackface, and he's like,
He's the only one
I'm
that
not
get away with that.
apologizing.
I think that's what's weird about it, though, is like, I think maybe that's why he gets away with it, because the character is like admitting, I don't know, it's just the way the character plays out. It's not like he's legitimately doing blackface. He's playing a white guy playing a black guy.
I know who I am. I'm the dude that's playing a dude disguised as another dude. You're the dude who don't know what dude he is.
It's hard to cancel somebody for an act or their role that was meant to portray exactly what they're trying to cancel him for.
Right, yeah.
You're going to have to edit this. But he actually put the brakes on the retard a little bit. That's just good acting right there. That's from Theater 101. He broke down no barrier. Now he's able to connect with the audience.
Didn't they say he had what
Hurt me.
was it, the blackoplasty or something like that?
Yeah, I forget what they called it. I get it. Meryl Streep here can't cry. He is so good in that freaking movie.
Yep.
I told you, I watched one of the all-time classics over the weekend. It never ceases to make me laugh as Airplane.
I walk to
great.
remember. Oh.
Everyone assumed the crash position. You got a drinking problem.
I thought you
seen
were going to
Airplane?
say no. I thought you were going to say Soul Plane. No, that's a whole different movie.
No, Airplane
You
is.
gotta watch Airplane with Caleb. That is right up his alley, dude. Crack up. Like it's
There's
so,
nothing right up my alley.
It is so dumb funny. Like it's just silly. It's great.
It's
Don't
been
call
a-
me Shirley.
Now, hold on a minute. Why you say that's up my alley?
I'm just saying because it's like the short, quick one-liner after one-liner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
and
you would really enjoy that movie.
But the
I
thing
don't know
is,
if I'm insulted or not.
There's kind of a controversy because it basically killed the disaster movies for like
Yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, like the guy's got a drinking problem, and his drinking problem is like when he tries to drink water, he just keeps missing his mouth. It's just super slapstick, super slapstick.
Leslie Nielsen has some of the
Come
great.
on, you're all.
Yeah. That, like one guy, like they're flying the
Come on
plane
now.
and they're about to crash or something, and one guy goes like, "Surely you can't be serious." Because I can. Don't ever call me Shirley. They bring a kid up to the cockpit. He's like, "You ever been on the cockpit of a plane before, son?" He goes, "No, sir. I've never even been on a plane before." He goes, "You ever seen a grown man naked?"
And it keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
Do you ever hang around the gym?
Yeah, ever stand outside a locker room?
Joey, you like movies about gladiators?
Yeah, you like movies about gladiators?
And,
We got Clarence. Roger. What's our vector, Victor? It's just stupid, silly slapstick.
That sounds like the conversation that went on between that helicopter and plane not that long ago.
Every time it zooms out and shows like the outside of the Boeing, like you hear a prop noise.
Yeah, there's this
Dumb
one
movie.
character named Johnny. He has some of the best one-liners because, Johnny, what do you make of this? I can make a brooch. I can make a plane.
The guy air traffic controls randomly, as always, I picked a hell of a day to do something. One of them's like, I picked a hell of a day to stop huffing glue. Or he gets more news, I picked a hell of a day to stop doing heroin.
I picked a hell of a day to quit amphetamines.
That just reminds me of like one of my favorite jokes from. Did you ever watch Phil of the Future, old Disney show? The dad gets pulled over and he's like drinking Kool-Aid all day. That's like the whole episode. He's just drinking this Kool-Aid, talking about how good it is. He's drinking out of like a metal thermos. And he gets pulled over and they go, "Sir, have you been drinking?" He goes, "Nothing but." That's one of the random things that lives rent free in my head right
You
now.
got to watch the entire Leslie Nielsen catalog. Like all his movies are like that.
But the thing
Naked
is, as
Gun.
funny as he was, the reason he was given that role on Airplane, he was the only member of the cast who can do those lines without breaking up and laughing.
I believe it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like before those kind of movies, he was a serious actor.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was like, I mean, it was kind of shocking that he was doing that kind of movie.
He excelled at it. That became his thing after
Yeah.
that.
What about Mrs. Cleaver has to be the translator for the two guys that speak jive?
Yeah.
Just hang loose.
It was a different time, Caleb.
She's going to come back with a metaside.
Somebody's like, this guy's talking like that. He goes, "Does anybody understand what they're saying?" This old white lady goes up and goes, "I speak jive," and she translates.
Jive. That's like the lady that does the sign language at rap shows.
Oh man,
What in the world?
what?
When I went to see Five Finger Death Punch, they had a lady doing sign language.
And she was just standing there going, the whole time, just looking real mean.
I mean, how are you good deaf and going to a metal concert and you're not feeling the music already? I mean,
What's the most offensive comedy? Since we've been talking about that more or less, what's
do
the
you
most
mean?
offensive, hilarious comedy? Blazing Saddles is definitely
it's
up
a
there.
classic.
yeah, but it's almost too on the nose
Yeah.
that it's not offensive.
Yeah,
Like it's so.
I got to go with American Pie, the original.
I
think
didn't think it was offensive.
I think the guys that made South Park did a great job on Team America.
Yeah.
Like Durkistan. And all they say the whole episode is Muhammad Jihad.
Muhammad Jihad.
Or they made Kim Jong il. They won an award for it, so they performed at the award show that I'm so Ronry.
And they had the actor that's supposed to be the hero that had him made up.
Yeah.
And he just had
What's the
makeup
signal?
and just random hair.
Yeah, I think you answered your own question.
Yeah,
I think South
Team
Park,
America might be.
I think just South Park in general, might be it.
Somehow they do offensive so well.
Yeah.
Well, if you make it funny,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
You hear about their lawsuit? That's why there's not been. They say they took the year off because of the election. They're like, it's played out. But so HBO paid like a king's ransom to have South Park on HBO. They paid for so many specials and so many episodes every year over like a 4 or 5 year span. Paramount was like, deal. And then Paramount was like, let's start our own streaming service. We own South Park, and they put it all on Paramount also. So then there's like this legal battle now where the guys that make South Park are like, if we make an episode, who do we send it to and who gets it? So Paramount was just like, lay low. So they've been they've been fighting a court battle over South Park right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe those two guys have had a career this long. They start out making a cartoon with construction paper.
Yeah, it was actually one of the first viral videos, a VHS tape people passed around as the Spirit of Christmas. and it's the kids from South Park.
Yeah.
But like that caught enough traction, and then it got back to them. They're like, once it got back to us, we're like, well,
And believe it
let's
or
make some more of
not,
those.
on one of my box sets, the band episode where they had Muhammad in the bear costume.
Yeah.
I have the episode where before they superimposed the bear costume over top of
Here's
it.
what's even cooler about those guys. So when they were going to put Muhammad in an episode, people were like, you can't draw Muhammad, blah blah blah. And
Oh yeah, I remember
that was right after that's when that place in Texas had a Let's Draw Muhammad contest.
Yes.
But anyways,
Yes.
Comedy Central made them censor it. So like that whole episode, every time it shows Muhammad, there's just a censored bar over him. But they didn't cut it from the intro, and Comedy Central never picked up on it. So the whole time the show ran after that, Muhammad was in the intro, just nobody paid attention and noticed.
Wow.
Well, the movie, one of the scenes that they put in just for the censors to cut out, got left in.
Yeah, the movie's pretty great too.
It wasn't the ping pong ball thing that was supposed to have been cut out, but they left it in.
Blame Canada, dog. Blame Canada. You guys texting each other?
Yep.
No.
It's bad podcasting, guys.
I don't know.
We're supposed to tell him.
The country song
Sorry.
from Team America is always going to be a
Yeah.
classic.
What would you do? Had to give up everything for freedom. Freedom cost $1.05. I'm gonna watch that.
That makes me think of what's that movie? Wag the Dog.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, now we got to come up with a patriotic country song. And, it's about the old shoe or something.
You seen the South Park where they had Alan Jackson? They're making fun of Alan Jackson, like making money off tragedy with these songs, and the kids try to build build a ladder to heaven. Where were you when they built the tower to heaven? And then like later they run out of stuff for it, and they're like, and the newscaster's like, and here to talk about it is Alan Jackson. He goes, where were you when they ran out of stuff for the tower to heaven? He has like 4 songs. I'll start with "Where Were You." It's pretty good.
Well, you kind of can't dog on Alan Jackson. He's one of the last great country singers.
Yeah,
Country
you found
Yeah,
his
so
niche.
quit
They're
trying to dog on
there
him.
at the end.
Gun-
I still think he's our cowboy pal Gunner in disguise. I think he looks like Gunner, not the other way around.
Dude,
Really? Yeah.
Dude, I'm just going to say it. WIVK is going down without Gunner now that he's retired.
You remember when he went to war with Cotton Eye Joe's and opened his own club straight
Yeah.
across the road?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't last no time, but
I don't understand why that place is still open.
Dumbasses.
MMA
It's
fights.
not a
though.
good time.
That actually might be.
That's
yeah.
like the only time, like normal Cotton Eye Joe's is
Yeah, they
whack.
the fights and the concerts.
Yeah, I've only went there one time, and the whole time I was like, I don't understand the appeal of this place. It's terrible.
yeah, because is anybody even line dance anymore?
Well, whenever
There's
I
some weirdos that do, like we work with a guy actually who I don't know, he used to.
we do.
Does he still work? I think so. Anyways, he got really into line dancing, and he'll put videos of himself on Facebook practicing line dancing at the Enzo gym. I'll take things that keep you celibate for 1,000, Alex.
I was just thinking that's the next Iron Palace podcast short is us learning how to line dance.
There's also a guy there that like you see all the time in his videos. They're like with a mohawk and stuff. Like they look like, you know, those really crappy videos like the pickup artists. That's what all these dudes look like. And there's just dudes out there line dancing. This is gonna work. It's gonna work this week.
Hey, I was in high school when all that was going on. It was a sad time.
Hey, sometimes my boots just scoot on their own. You know what I mean?
What was
Boogie.
bad is every time a hit country song come out, they would always have the line dance mix. It was like 3 minutes longer, and it didn't even sound like the same song.
I bet Ronnie Dunn's insufferable to hang out with. I don't know if there's anybody that feels himself as much as Ronnie Dunn.
I don't. Yeah, but I mean, and then Kix Brooks.
Yeah.
Really.
I don't know. Ronnie Dunn did one of the best versions of "Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress" I've ever heard.
I only ever heard it.
That's a banger.
I haven't heard it either.
Certified Hood Classic.
Oh yeah, it's one of his solo deals, but it's badass.
Black dress. Who sings that?
The Hollies.
Okay. Because I was like, I know the original of that, but I can't think of. Yeah.
I just like to picture Brooks and Dunn in the studio because it cracks me up. Like when he brought, he's like, "Go by boys, girls, men, women. We're going to cover my Maria, and wait till you hear me get these high notes." He's looking through his glasses. Maria. He's like waiting for him to start clapping.
I don't know. I think the
Here,
scariest
I'll do it again, Maria.
scariest studio episode had to be in the late 70s when Bruce Springsteen was like, "Hey, little girl, is your dad?"
Yeah.
Nobody behind the glass went, "Hey, Bruce, maybe we ought to think about that."
It's probably the same time they did Indian Outlaw.
Yeah.
Well, that Waylon's got a song about him busting into his studio, and it's got one of my favorite lines in music history. Like, they were after him for cocaine possession. Somebody tipped them off, and one of his guys got rid of it. And the line of this, he just literally, the song is just flat out saying what happened. We were recording, the cops come in, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the verse, he goes, they got me for possession of something that was gone. Banger, dude.
Oh, Waylon was the man back in the
The
day.
GOAT, dude. Forever.
Even when he had the slick back hair, no beard, I mean, he was still the man.
You ever heard I know you have, the full version of the theme song Dukes of Hazzard?
Oh, yeah.
You know that's Waylon Jennings that narrates it and then playing. The second verse is, I'm a good old boy. My mama loves me. So she don't understand they keep showing my hands and not my face on TV.
He actually appeared in one episode.
Yeah,
You remember that
driving
one?
that truck and got broke down in Hazard, dog.
Yeah. Hazard County Speed
My
Trap.
dad has every season of Dukes of Hazzard on DVD, but he bought them all full screen because he had one of them big screen TVs. And he was like, I don't want to see those black bars. Now you try to watch this Dukes of Hazzard DVDs. I got black bars this way.
I've got the entire set in the box. Got the flag on top. Got General Lee on both sides.
Huge, yeah. You can get it all on Apple right now, I think. I keep meaning to buy it where they take them down. Dukes of Hazzard is phenomenal.
You all are a lot younger than me, but you remember the Dukes of Hazzard cartoon? It was on for like 2 seasons.
Oh,
It was called The Dukes.
I had no idea.
It's
They had to be better than the Coin Vance season. Ugh.
Yeah.
Dudes were whack.
I still do. I watched the episode when Bo and Luke came back. They never really offered no explanation. They just show up
Didn't
in
need
these
to.
orange fire suits. They take the helmets off in the boar's nest.
We were all just
They're
relieved.
back. And they tell
just
Coin Vance, you can have our Charger. They jump in the car to take off, and they're gone.
You know what we're talking about?
Oh, dear.
So Dukes of Hazzard, there was a contract dispute for a while. So the two main characters were like sitting out. They're like, no, you're not paying us enough. We're out of here. So they just replaced them with their cousins, and there was 2 dudes that looked a lot like them, like a blonde hair, one a brunette one. They were Coin Vance, and it was terrible. And at the end of that season, they settled the dispute, and they just brought the original ones back. All right, we're back. You guys.
And the whole cast had to make out like they knew who they were.
Yeah, those are the other cousins, Coy and Vance, that dress the same, drive their car, and have the same hairstyles.
You remember the Dukes of Hazzard episode with the alien?
Yeah, they got some later on near the end. They got some weird ones.
Yeah, especially when they went to the models and they quit actually doing actual stunts.
Yeah.
They used the miniatures, and it just killed the whole thing.
Well, I guess they got tired of wrecking actual cars.
Fair enough.
I talked to one of the stunt drivers from that show when we used to go to Cooters all the time when I was in Gatlinburg when I was younger. They were there all the time, and one of them worked on Too Fast, Too Furious, and I did a bunch of those stunts. But before he was on the stunt crew for the Dukes of Hazzard show, stole one of the General Lees from the set. And then he got scared or like ran out of gas or something and just abandoned it. And they never caught him. He said, well, then I was on the show and somebody was telling me the story about the time the General Lee got stolen. I was like, yeah, that was me. They eventually worked on the show. Man.
I don't. Well,
Nope.
I think we're running out of time, boys. Anybody got anything else to add before we wrap it up?
Remember the Iron Pound podcast? We're better than you, and we know it.
Iron Palace would like to thank Travis Law for coming and putting out a great episode. You may have noticed the new music by Necktie Social. We'd like to thank them for rocking the Iron Palace. Also, while you're here, click like, subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications, and go to those links and get something from our sponsors. Thanks for listening to the Iron Palace.
Fits in my